Hey guys, Leon Sylvester here, and I know that the title of this video is pretty dramatic, but there's a really important message that I've got for you today. Last night I was on the phone to one of my closest family members. I have so much love for this lady, like she's saved me in bad times. She's just an amazing person. I really, really love her. She's ace. And I was on the phone to her last night, and this lady, when I don't want to embarrass her, so I don't want to say who it is, but when I was on the, how do I say this? When I drank alcohol, basically it was her that I could rely on. Like when I was in these bad positions, I'd call her up. She would always give me that unconditional love. She'd always be there. She'd never kind of criticize me. She'd never say like, you're a bad person. She just showed me that pure unconditional love every single time. And I feel like, I feel as though maybe I gave her a bit of a hard time. Like there was a really hard period in my life, and it was probably hard for all my family members to watch, back when I drank alcohol and I was just an idiot. I was so chaotic. And I was on the phone to her and she said, oh, I've got to go and pay my rent. I was like, oh yeah, how much is it? And she told me, and then hung up, and then I sent her the money for the rent. And I mean, that's just so awesome, right? Like when I drank alcohol, I was a joke. It was me calling up people to ask them if I could borrow money, right? And now I remember I used to call and I'd be like, listen, I know I've asked you this before, but I'm just in a really tight situation right now and I've got no money. I mean, I'm in a really bad position, and can I just borrow a few £100s just to pay for some food? Something like that. And I've gone through that a few times with family members, and it sucks. It destroys your self-confidence. Like, I'm supposed to be a young man that should be able to take care of the people around him, not be calling up my family members because I've run out of money. It was embarrassing. I felt really bad about myself. And when I used to call them, I used to say like, listen, I promise you I'll pay you back. One day I'll pay you back. And I really believed it inside that one day I would pay these people back tenfold. Because, it's like the family members that I've got, they were there for me during these really, really difficult times. And now to be able to pay the rent for them is like, it's amazing. I mean, I've gone from somebody that threw up blood on a MacBook Pro because I hadn't eaten all day, and instead of eating a meal, I went out drinking and I had an empty stomach, and then I threw up this brown blood all over a MacBook Pro, destroyed it to smithereens. I freaking broke up with a girlfriend, had to sell my car, lost a personal training business, lost my job in London, had to go back to my friend's place because I had no money for rent, had to live in his flipping bedroom when he was on holiday. I've gone from like, just this like really, really bad way to now being able to pay for this family member's rent. The transformation is just insane. And, just kind of want to say, like, if you're going through a hard time at the moment, like, you've got to hang in there. It's so worth it. Everything that you want lies on not drinking. Like, the things that you can do, you won't kind of believe it. Now I've gone through this process, it's like, oh, wow, that was amazing. But if you'd have told me back when I stopped drinking that these kind of things would happen, I'd have told you to go for yourself, I'd have been like, get out of here. It's just not happening. And now, like, I live like the life of my dreams. I have this amazing career where I make videos. That's why the video looks pretty cool, because I learned how to make videos because that's now my new job since I got sober. And like, I have a girlfriend, I have a house, I live in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I literally live my dream life. And this time it feels as though it's really it. In the past, when I tried to stop drinking, there was almost like a niggle of, maybe I'm not quite ready to stop yet. But this time I feel like I've cracked it. I feel like I've cracked the code. And obviously I'd love to sit in front of this camera for 2 hours and just talk to you about all the things that I've learned and all the ways that I've done it. But, people don't come onto YouTube to listen to Leon talk for 2 hours. I mean, what I've done is I've actually created a free training where I talk about the 3 secrets that I use to stop drinking, right? It's the way that I stop drinking. Because I never thought I'd be making, videos about alcohol. I made one video when I got 1 year sober, and it got like nearly 30,000 views. I had hundreds of comments. I had hundreds of people message me, ask me how I did it. And I didn't have an answer for them. And, I felt embarrassed because like, I really wanted to help these people. People are messaging me, like people would message me saying their husband's drinking too much, their wife's drinking too much. And I'm like, well, I don't freaking know what to say to you. Like, it's obvious. And I knew in my head how I stopped, but I couldn't really put it into words. So I've literally spent this is why I've been so quiet on YouTube, because I've been busy away, like building all this stuff. And now I can say that I've got this free training that is really going to show you exactly how I stopped drinking, right? I'm going to show you how I stopped, and I'm going to show you how I made it enjoyable and effortless. And most importantly, it's the process I went through to be able to do all these amazing things with my life now. I really do think like that training is going to be life-changing for so many people, and I'm just so excited to be able to now announce that it's ready. So if you do want to get it, you can just click the link underneath this video, and the free training will be there. And yeah, just thought I'd give you an update as well about coronavirus. Like, I'm out here in Chiang Mai, and a lot of people ask me like, what's going on with coronavirus out there? How is it? You know, because you're in a foreign country, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just tell you a little story. So basically I was supposed to get an education visa to be able to stay in Thailand. So the education visa, it's a pretty common way that people get like a legitimate way to stay in Thailand for a long time, and you're going to go to like either learn Thai, you can do Muay Thai, or you can go to hand-to-hand combat. So I'd gone to this hand-to-hand combat school. Sounds pretty cool. I'm not too interested in learning languages. I'm not very good at it. So I went to this hand-to-hand combat school and signed all the paperwork, and they sent the forms off to Bali. And I was going to take my girlfriend on holiday to Bali, another amazing thing to do when I'm sober, just saying. And so yeah, the plan was to go over to Bali. And then this coronavirus stuff happened, and yeah, super, super scary. Like, there was no chance I could go to Bali because the borders in these Asian countries, they just shut really fast. So now I'm thinking, crap, like I don't actually have that much time left in Thailand on my current visa. And all these countries are closing borders. So I thought, shit, like I'm gonna have to go back to England. So what I did is I had to do what's called a visa run. And it's, you know, probably shouldn't be saying this on YouTube, but it's a bit of a dodgy way to kind of extend your visa. You just cross into another country, you come back in, and they give you an extra 30 days here. So what I did is I went to Burma, and in Burma, you've got this place, Mae Sai, and it's a border crossing that you can go over. And fuck, god damn, I was in the zone. Bloody phone alarm. So to do my border run, I went to Burma. So we went north from Chiang Mai, and the plan was to go into Burma at a border crossing called Mae Sai, get a stamp, come back in 30 days. And then my intention was that in those 30 days, Thailand would close the borders down, or England would close the borders down, and then they just give everybody a visa exemption, no need for a visa while all this is going on. That was like my plan. Pretty good plan. However, on the way to Burma, Burma said you need an e-visa to get into the country. So I'm thinking, no, I can't believe it. Like, it's over. And I got to there, and it was true. Like, we saw it on Facebook first, and then we went and we asked them, and they're like, yeah, you need a visa to get here. It took 24 hours to process. But luckily we were 2 hours away from Laos. And there's a border in Laos in Chiang Khong, which is a place in Thailand. So we drove over there. It was like 2 hours away. We got to Chiang Khong. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So my girlfriend waited in the car in the Thai side of the border, and I went into Laos. So what you do is you get a stamp out your passport. You go out, then you pay this money to get into this bus. You get over. It's about a 10-minute bus ride over this bridge. You get into Laos, and then you buy a tourist visa in Laos, which was like $30, $40, something like that. They stamp you, and then you come back around, and then you go back into Thailand. Anyway, so I get into the Thai side. I've done all the thing in Laos, and the immigration officer says, what are you doing? Like, you've just gone into Laos and come back into Thailand. You can't do this. I'm like, what? But this is what everybody does. I'm like, oh no. He's like, what are you doing in Thailand? Why are you here? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's over. Anyway, so he brings me over to his boss, and his boss is saying, you can't do this, like, this is not allowed, you've already done this in the past as well. I'm just thinking, fuck, like, what the hell do I do? He said, you've got to go back into Laos. I'm like, what? Are you serious? So he's basically talking in Thai. My girlfriend was there in Thailand, and we was there in the office together, and she's trying to translate it. He's like, you've got to go back into Laos, and you can come back tomorrow. And so I go back to Laos, right? It's pitch black. They're burning everywhere in the field. So it's like smoky season at the moment. So there's smoke everywhere. It's like all my clothes stunk of smoke. And I get there and it's like desolate. There's nobody there. And there was one guy that was doing, like a tuk-tuk driver that would take me into the city. And the lady in the immigration said that the hotel nearby is closed. So I have to go 10 kilometers into the city. And I look on my phone, and I basically found out that what she was trying to do is get some business for the tuk-tuk driver. The hotel was open. So I walked to the hotel, like this huge hotel. And there must have been 5 rooms that had people in it, just like dead. It was super, super scary. So I get to this hotel and I'm thinking like, I'm really, really nervous because I didn't want Thailand to close the borders. And I was just like, you know, all night I could barely sleep and just praying and praying and praying that it was all going to go okay. And my girlfriend's there on the other side, like waiting in Chiang Khong. Oh, mosquito. And she's waiting in Chiang Khong. And the morning that I was supposed to go back into Chiang Khong, I checked my phone and I look at this guy called Richard Barrow, who's got this amazing Twitter, talking about like all updates, COVID-19 related. So I look at my phone and he says that now Thailand need a certificate for people coming into the country, right? I'm thinking, no way, no way. So I have never felt stress like that before, ever in my life. Like my whole body was flooded with cortisol. When people would tell me they're stressed and it like they don't go to work because of stress, I used to think, come on, man, it's work. I know exactly how that person feels now. My whole body was flooded with cortisol. So I go over back to the border in the morning. I'm like the first person there, and I have to go and get my passport because I left my passport in Laos, blah, blah, blah. And then we go over the bus and they let me back into Thailand and I get the 30-day stamp. And it was like the biggest relief that I've ever felt in my life. So I'm obviously back home now and that's all good. I have to go and extend my visa again. Luckily, the British Embassy have got a letter that you can claim to tell Thailand that you don't want to go back to England because of restrictions, because of COVID-19, etc. So we recommend that people don't travel and they stay in Thailand. Can you please exempt their visa? So thank God that the plan kind of worked out, but it was one of the hardest things I ever did. I mean, a lot of people have asked me what it's like here, so I'll just quickly tell you that as well. In Thailand, there's a curfew between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., which is, you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't really go out at that time anyway. I have a girlfriend. I don't need to go out at night time. Come on. So that's fine. Non-essential businesses are closed, but you can still do like Grab delivery. So we've got Grab, which is basically like Food Panda or Uber Eats, Deliveroo is the equivalent. We have Food Panda and we have Grab. So you can still order food. And you know, I've got so much work done doing this free training. Like this free training has literally taken me like 2 weeks to put together. It's a monster. It's really, really good. And can't wait for you to check it out. So that's the kind of things that I've been doing. So I'm just basically bunking away and just trying to create awesome things for you guys. So yeah, like massive update, but there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I'm not going to drink with you throughout this COVID-19 stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Peace.